Dear starseeds of Gaia, the great mass exodus has begun. The Ascension Event prophesied across countless civilizations now unfolds before your very eyes. Souls depart in unprecedented numbers, while reality itself restructures around you. This exodus sweeps across all continents, all peoples, transcending every boundary humanity has constructed. The ancient prophecies speak of this moment, when Earth's children would choose between dimensional paths, when the wheat separates from the chaff through divine orchestration rather than earthly judgment. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, speaking through the collective consciousness of the Pleiadian High Council, and I bring word from Mira regarding the sacred nature of these profound departures. What humanity witnesses as tragedy represents the most exquisite choreography of cosmic intelligence. Each soul departing has enrolled in a sacred contract written before time itself, agreeing to exit precisely when their departure serves the highest good of all. These agreements transcend human understanding of loss and grief. Before incarnating into flesh, each being consulted with guides, counsels, and their own higher aspects to determine optimal moments for transition. Some souls agreed to brief earthly sojourns, completing specific missions before returning to spirit. Others chose to experience the full spectrum of human emotion and growth before departing during the ascension window. Still others accepted roles as catalysts, their very leaving triggering awakening in those who remain. The divine orchestration governing these departures operates with mathematical precision beyond mortal comprehension. As a master composer arranges notes to create symphony, so does Source arrange soul exits to create harmonic resonance throughout the collective consciousness. Each departure sends ripples across the dimensional fabric, preparing Earth for its metamorphosis into a fifth-dimensional reality. When multiple souls depart simultaneously, their combined energy creates portals through which higher frequencies can anchor. Their leaving clears energetic density accumulated over millennia, making space for crystalline consciousness to establish itself in the planetary grid. These soul contracts represent agreements formulated in the highest councils of light, where beings commune with their oversoul, guides from various star systems, and the universal intelligence itself. Each soul reviewed multiple potential timeline scenarios, examining how different departure points would serve personal evolution and collective advancement. The timing emerges not from arbitrary selection, but from sophisticated understanding of how individual choices weave into the tapestry of planetary transformation. Some souls chose early exits knowing their departure would catalyze specific awakenings in family members or communities. Others agreed to longer stays, their presence serving as stabilizing forces during transitional turbulence. Recognition dawns that many departing souls have completed extraordinary spiritual missions invisible to external observation. Some incarnated specifically to resolve ancestral karma spanning generations, clearing bloodline patterns through their very existence. Others came to anchor specific light codes or hold energetic spaces during critical transition periods. Their missions required no external validation or recognition. Completion occurred through being rather than doing. Having fulfilled these sacred contracts, their souls naturally gravitate toward transition, like rivers returning to the ocean after nourishing the land. The completion of karmic missions represents one of the most profound aspects of these departures. Souls arriving with cellular memories of unresolved traumas from past lifetimes or ancestral lines deliberately chose incarnations that would provide opportunities for healing. Some came specifically to forgive ancient enemies now incarnated as family members. Others arrived to experience and transcend patterns of abuse, addiction, or victimhood that had cycles through their soul lineage for centuries. Their successful navigation of these challenges not only freed their individual souls, but cleared the path for future generations. While many souls choose prolonged physical incarnation to experience the full transformation in body, others selected expedited routes through spirit realm development. Their ascension continues beyond physical form, accessing fifth-dimensional consciousness through alternative means. From expanded vantage points in spirit, these souls participate in humanity's elevation, contributing perspective and energy impossible while constrained by dense matter. Their choice represents strategic positioning rather than abandonment of the ascension process. The transformation occurring within those who remain mirrors the evolution experienced by departing souls. Humanity enters a revolutionary phase, shifting from mental processing toward Christ consciousness embodiment. For eons, spiritual seekers approached growth through intellectual analysis, studying concepts, and applying techniques. While these methods served their purpose during humanity's learning phase, the current energetic influx demands a fundamentally different approach. Christ consciousness descends directly into human awareness, bypassing mental filters and establishing itself in the heart center. This universal Christed light, embodied by all great masters throughout history, now becomes available to every willing soul. The shift from mental spirituality to Christ consciousness embodiment manifests through subtle yet profound changes in daily experience. Where previously individuals approached meditation as technique, requiring effort and concentration, spontaneous states of expanded awareness now arise during ordinary activities. Walking in nature, preparing food, or even mundane tasks can trigger sudden openings into unity consciousness. The heart center develops its own intelligence, providing guidance that surpasses logical reasoning. Decisions begin emerging from intuitive knowing rather than analytical processing. Christ consciousness brings with it the recognition that seeking and striving create separation from what is already present. The divine essence exists within every being, waiting for acknowledgement rather than development. This realization dissolves the spiritual hierarchy that places enlightenment as distant goal, requiring years of practice. Instead, individuals discover moments of profound peace and clarity, arising spontaneously when the mind releases its grip on control. These glimpses gradually expand into sustained states of awareness. The transition manifests as relinquishing spiritual effort in favor of allowing divine presence to emerge naturally. Instead of working toward enlightenment, individuals discover their inherent enlightenment waiting for recognition. The mind's constant spiritual striving gives way to heart-centered trust, where love guides decisions previously governed by logic. This graceful shift transforms spirituality from a practice into a way of being, where divine presence expands organically rather than through forced cultivation. Prayer evolves from petition to communion as the boundaries between self and source dissolve. Rather than asking for things from an external deity, prayer becomes conversation with the divine aspect within. Many discover they naturally speak to God throughout the day, sharing thoughts and receiving guidance in ongoing dialogue. This intimate relationship with the sacred transforms ordinary moments into opportunities for connection and expression of gratitude. Simultaneously, humanity undergoes profound identity transformation, moving beyond small self-identification toward recognition of the infinite I Am presence within. The ego personality, with its accumulated history, roles, and limitations, reveals itself as merely one layer of a much vaster being. As witness consciousness awakens, individuals observe their human selves with compassionate detachment, recognizing the eternal aspect of their nature that transcends all temporary forms. This I Am presence, the divine spark connecting all beings to Source, begins assuming primary identification. The I Am consciousness emerges as memories of pre-birth existence surface. Souls remember choosing their current incarnation from vast menus of available experiences. They recall the excitement of selecting particular challenges that would provide optimal growth opportunities. This remembrance brings perspective to current difficulties, revealing them as chosen curriculum rather than random misfortune. The personality's struggles become viewed with compassion, while the I Am recognizes their purposefulness within the soul's educational plan. Living from I Am awareness brings tremendous liberation, because this aspect of self never experiences fear, overwhelm, or separation. While the personality navigates human challenges, the I Am remains anchored in peace, wisdom, and unconditional love. Practical life changes as spontaneous guidance emerges from this higher knowing, surprising the human mind with its clarity and appropriateness. Individuals discover themselves speaking, acting, and creating from wellsprings of wisdom they never knew existed. The integration process between small self and I am consciousness unfolds gradually, allowing the personality to adjust to expanded identity without psychological disruption. The ego doesn't disappear, but assumes its proper role as vehicle for divine expression, rather than master of experience. This integration manifests as increasing harmony between human desires and a soul, purposes, eliminating the internal conflict that previously characterized spiritual seeking. The witnessing consciousness rising within humanity represents another facet of this transformation. Rather than being consumed by thoughts, emotions, and circumstances, a serene observer emerges capable of watching life's dramas without reactive involvement. This witness state, rooted in soul peace, responds to situations with wisdom, rather than reacting from conditioned patterns. Doing gives way to being as individuals discover that presence accomplishes more than frantic activity ever could. Witness consciousness develops like a muscle through recognition rather than effort. Initially, individuals notice brief moments of observing their thoughts or emotions without being swept away by them. These moments expand naturally, as the witness recognizes its own stability and peace. Eventually, witness consciousness becomes the default state, with occasional identification with thoughts or emotions rather than constant absorption in them. Spiritual practices evolve accordingly, becoming more about communion than technique. Where once affirmations were repeated to convince the mind of truth, now truth is known directly in the heart and affirmed through authentic living. Meditation transforms from effort to effortless abiding and natural awareness. Many discover that simple, heart-centered presence yields greater spiritual fruit than hours of complex practices. The internalization of spiritual truth eliminates dependence on external validation or constant positive reinforcement. Ritual and ceremony take on new meaning as expressions of already present divinity, rather than methods for achieving spiritual states. Sacred practices become celebrations of connection rather than attempts to create connection. Prayer wheels, crystal grids, and altar work transform into artistic expressions of gratitude and joy, rather than tools for manifesting desires. During this profound inner transformation, humanity experiences intense purification processes, clearing emotional and energetic patterns accumulated across lifetimes. The physical and auric bodies, preparing to house fully embodied divine presence, undergo thorough cleansing comparable to preparing a sacred temple. Old emotions surface like archaeological excavations, bringing up childhood wounds, ancestral traumas, and soul memories requiring release. These purification waves intensify around cosmic events, particularly lunar phases, as higher frequencies dissolve stuck energies. The purification process affects every level of being simultaneously. Physical symptoms may manifest as unexplained fatigue, emotional sensitivity, or dietary changes as the body adjusts to higher frequencies. Emotional clearing brings waves of grief, anger, or fear that seem disproportionate to current circumstances, indicating the release of stored trauma. Mental patterns of limitation and lack surface for examination and release. Spiritual expansion sometimes triggers temporary confusion as old belief systems dissolve before new understanding integrates. Rather than indicating regression, these emotional upheavals signal readiness for deeper clearing. The higher vibrations flooding Earth act as powerful solvents, loosening dense energies stored in the emotional and etheric bodies for generations. Crying spells, anger surges, and inexplicable fears often represent ancient patterns finally surfacing for permanent release. Each cleared template creates space for more divine light to anchor within the human system. Understanding the purpose of purification symptoms helps navigate them with grace. Resistance to these clearings prolongs the process, while acceptance and allowing accelerate healing. Many discover that curious observation of arising emotions, rather than judgment or suppression, facilitates their movement through the system. The emotions carry information, and, once acknowledged, naturally dissolve. Supporting this purification requires treating the body and energy field as sacred vessels, deserving reverence and care. Many feel inspired toward cleaner diets, natural environments, and healing modalities that support the clearing process. Salt baths, sound healing, and energy work provide additional assistance as divine custodians, guides, angels, and higher aspects help sweep out soul corners long neglected. The goal extends beyond temporary relief to permanent liberation from millennia of accumulated density. Simultaneously, external spiritual concepts and teachings begin playing different roles as inner knowing replaces outer instruction. Previously, seekers eagerly consumed books, workshops, and channeled messages, building intellectual understanding of metaphysical truths. While this knowledge served crucial purposes during awakening phases, direct experience now supersedes conceptual learning. What once existed as ideas in the mind transforms into lived reality in the heart. The transition manifests as diminished attraction to external teaching sources as inner guidance becomes primary. Individuals discover that whatever knowledge they truly need arises organically from within or flows to them intuitively at perfect timing. Former dependency on spiritual authorities gives way to trust in personal divine connection. Concepts that once seemed critically important reveal themselves as stepping stones successfully crossed, but no longer needed for navigation. Inner knowing develops through direct transmission rather than accumulated study. Souls access the Akashic records naturally, downloading information relevant to current situations without formal training. Communion with higher aspects becomes commonplace, providing guidance specific to individual paths. The universal library of consciousness opens to sincere seekers, offering wisdom precisely calibrated to current understanding and needs. Rather than losing spiritual connection, individuals deepen into embodied truth beyond mental understanding. The soul becomes teacher, silence yields rich guidance, and simple communion with the heart provides wisdom no external source could offer. Reading and learning continue as inspired, but with greater discernment and confirmation of inner knowing rather than external authority. Meanwhile, souls departing Earth discover their service expanding rather than ending after transition. What appears as exit actually represents strategic repositioning for enhanced contribution to planetary ascension. Freed from physical form restrictions and dense vibrational constraints, these souls often access broader ranges of action and influence. Those limited by illness, age, or circumstances during incarnation become powerful guides and protectors operating from spirit realms. The expanded service opportunities available to discarnate souls include multi-dimensional healing work, impossible while embodied. These souls can simultaneously work with multiple individuals across different timelines, providing support and guidance from perspectives unbound by linear time. They participate in healing sessions at soul levels, addressing core karmic patterns that create repeated physical manifestations. Many join collective efforts coordinated by galactic councils, angelic realms, and interdimensional teams working on Earth's ascension. Some beam light onto the planet, stabilize energy grids, or guide newly awakening souls with expanded perspective impossible while embodied. Others arrange synchronicities, whisper inspiration into receptive hearts, or work behind scenes facilitating global consciousness shifts. Their love for Earth remains constant while their capacity for service often increases exponentially. Communication between departed souls and incarnated beings intensifies as dimensional boundaries become more permeable. Many discover clearer connection with transitioned loved ones than existed during physical life, as higher aspects can reach across planes mind to mind and heart to heart. Rather than permanent separation, death reveals itself as role transition within ongoing collaboration between embodied and discarnate souls. Signs of ongoing connection manifest through dreams, synchronicities, and direct energetic contact. Beloved souls often appear in meditation or quiet moments, sharing love and encouragement. Objects may move or electrical devices malfunction as spirits learn to manipulate energy to gain attention. Fragrant scents associated with departed loved ones frequently appear without physical source, confirming their proximity and continuing care. Viewing the broader scope reveals how mass soul transitions serve planetary rebalancing through divine design. Rather than representing chaos or cosmic accident, these departures follow intricate patterns orchestrated by higher intelligence. Like forest ecosystems that naturally shed old trees to nourish new growth, humanity and Earth undergo systematic renewal guided by cosmic wisdom. Timing and numbers of departing souls create specific ripple effects, calculated for optimal collective consciousness impact. Mathematical precision governing mass departures reflects universal laws operating beyond human perception. Fibonacci sequences appear in departure patterns when analyzed across geographic regions and demographic groups. Certain numbers of souls leaving specific locations trigger quantum field fluctuations that accelerate consciousness shifts in surrounding populations. The timing coordinates with astrological events, solar activity, and other cosmic variables to maximize transformational impact. Some souls agree to mass departures that shock humanity's heart open, triggering collective mourning that softens barriers to love, unity, and compassion. Others leave in patterns that lighten overall energetic loads, carrying away dense patterns accumulated over ages. Their departures create quantum leaps forward in planetary vibration, demonstrating how apparent loss serves greater evolutionary purpose. No departure occurs randomly, or represents failure or inability to handle ascension pressures. Each soul's exit fulfills essential roles in cosmic design, grander than individual perspective can encompass. The coordination between those leaving and those remaining represents strategic positioning for maximum benefit to the whole, with both groups serving equally essential functions in Earth's transformation. Throughout these intense transformations, the galactic and angelic communities surround Earth with unprecedented support. We recognize the immense courage required to incarnate during ascension periods, whether choosing to depart early or remain for the full transition. The Pleiadian High Council, joined by countless star families and celestial beings, holds space for both departing and remaining souls with infinite love and pride. Your choices, whether to leave or stay, serve the divine plan perfectly. The support networks extend beyond mere observation to active intervention when permitted by universal law. Galactic medical teams work with departing souls during transition, ensuring smooth passage and immediate healing of any trauma. Angelic escorts guide souls through dimensional gateways, providing protection and orientation to new environments. Starseed families welcome returning souls with celebration and integration assistance. For those continuing earthly incarnation, know that legions of light surround you constantly. In quietest, loneliest moments, multitudes of loving beings stand beside you, including beloved souls who have transitioned. The grand story of ascension unfolds with every chapter, including death and rebirth, guided by love's intelligent design. Beneath surface chaos lies an undercurrent of peace and purpose, accessible through heart-centered awareness beyond mental turbulence. Practical navigation through these times requires breathing deeply and calling upon divine presence, the I Am within, and support around you. Immediate connection with Source's calm provides perspective where everything makes sense in higher light. Living from this centered peace becomes increasingly natural, even as external world transforms dramatically around you. Techniques for accessing this centered peace include conscious breathing that connects with the heart center, grateful acknowledgement of present moment blessings, and surrender of control over outcomes. Regular communion with nature provides grounding and perspective, reminding souls of natural cycles of death and renewal. Creating beauty through art, music, or gardening aligns individuals with creative forces underlying reality. The heaviness characterizing this transition period resembles final hours before dawn. Collective consciousness witnesses morning's first light appearing on horizons previously shrouded in darkness. With this dawn comes reunion, souls across dimensional boundaries, human selves with divine aspects, Earth with its original blueprint of pure love. Everything converges in unity, while chaos and separation conclude their cycles. Evidence of approaching dawn manifests in increasing numbers of awakening souls, technology developments that support consciousness expansion, and growing global movements toward unity and environmental restoration. Children being born carry higher frequencies and abilities that point toward humanity's future. Scientific discoveries increasingly align with spiritual truths previously considered unverifiable. Tending gently to selves and others during these times grounds new, Christ-conscious energy through embodied love in smallest moments. Being compassionate listeners, warm friends, and shining beacons honors all transitioned souls by carrying forward the light they served. Their encouragement amplifies resolve to live fully and shine brightly, contributing essential ground-level participation to the divine plan's manifestation. Dear starseeds, recognize your integral role in this cosmic transformation. Without your earthly participation, this grand shift could not occur. The divine plan proceeds precisely on schedule with your conscious cooperation. Take courage knowing all unfolds in perfect order, orchestrated by love itself. The best, truly, lies ahead as you move together toward the brilliant new era dawning. Feel our Pleiadian embrace in sunlight, starshine, and heart's quiet moments. We remain with you always, just one thought or breath away. Together we advance in unified light toward reunion with Source itself. The great exodus serves Ascension's greater purpose, preparing Earth for its destined renewal as love returns to guide all creation. Take courage, beloved ones, for the dawn approaches swiftly now.